everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Rochelle from Rochelle.Handmade.Designs, and in this video we are doing that first showing of the series 5 and below. Now before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe button, and also turn on the notification bell so you are notified every time I upload a new video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right on into this video. All right, so welcome back to the channel. You know who I am. It's Rochelle from Rochelle.Handmade.Designs, and today is the first showing of the series 5 and below. So every Sunday through April 3rd, with the grand finale being April 10th, myself as well as Talisha from Creativity by T will post a garment where we have used 5 pattern pieces or below based on the garment category that week. You can also follow the hashtag both here on YouTube as well as on Instagram. I will go ahead and put that hashtag in the description box below. And you can also participate in this challenge with us or the series with us. The only thing you have to do is use a pattern in your post, tag me and Talisha, use the hashtag sewing5andbelow to let us know what you have sewn. This will be fun. All right, so today's theme is outer garments. So, you know, like jackets, coats, blazers, you get where I'm going here, right? So you remember the game, You Don't Know Jack? So let's just say that this theme is called You Don't Know Jackets. All right. So what I sewed is Butterick 6718 View A. So let's go ahead and get right on into the pattern description. All right. So Butterick 6718 View A is a semi-fitted line jacket. It has a shaped hemline for it. Also, there's other views on the pattern for View B, which is the fitted dress, as well as View C, which is the top. It has gatherings at the top. It also has a neck binding and back zipper as well. Now, View B, which is the dress, has a center back slit as well. View D, which is also a skirt, it is an A-line skirt. It has a bias cut skirt, which has a side zipper and stitch hem. And then View D is the semi-fitted pants, where the pants are tapered as well. Now, if you remember that this will be called a lifestyle wardrobe, this pattern is also part of my business series where I will be showing the rest of this pattern towards the end of the summer into the beginning of fall. So stay tuned for August when I sew this pattern up. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the notions. So the notions used for this pattern, you only need thread. There's no buttons, no zippers, no. You only need thread, which is why I chose this pattern, because I didn't need to go out and get no buttons. I didn't have to go and get no zippers. I didn't have to go and get no closures whatsoever. This is a super quick and easy sew. So I love that about this pattern. All right, so let's talk about the fabric used. So the fabric used for this pattern is poplin. So for the outside shell or main garment of this pattern, I use white poplin fabric, as well as the lapel area, I use black poplin. For the inside, which is the lining, I use white, just my normal white cotton fabric, just to line it. That's all I did for this pattern. All right, pattern pieces used. So the pattern pieces used for this pattern, I use 5 pattern pieces. I use pattern piece number 1, my front, pattern piece number 2, my back. Pattern piece number 3 is the lower back where you have that high-low peplum area. Pattern piece number 4 is the sleeves, and then pattern piece number 5 is the lapel. That's all the pattern pieces you need in order to create this jacket. However, don't forget that you need to interface pattern piece number 1, which is your front, and pattern piece number 5, which is your lapel. All right, so let's talk about pattern sizing. So this pattern comes in sizes 6 through 14, and then I believe it's 14 through 22. If I'm incorrect, I'll put it up on the screen as well so you can see what sizing this pattern comes in. All right, so the pattern size that I cut was a size 18. However, I did trace the pattern first, tested with a muslin, simply because it doesn't give you a waist measurement or a hip measurement, and I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to be tight in the waist or the hip, even though it's semi-fitted. So it did fit the bust the waist and the hips with me just cutting a size 18, and it was perfect. I did not have to make any sizing up or any of that jazz because I've been doing that quite a bit lately. All right, so that's the size that I cut for this pattern. All right, modifications. Did I make any modifications? No, I did not make any modifications outside of just changing the color or color blocking the lapel. But no, I did not make any modifications for this pattern. Did it look like the drawing or photos on the envelope? So yes, it does look like the photos and the drawing on the envelope. The only thing that I did different, like I just said, was I just color blocked the jacket and made the lapels black instead of white. I just made the outside garment white and then used black poplin for the lapel area, but I think that it looks exactly like the lady on the pattern. I mean, come on, check it out. You see that? Yeah, so it looks exactly like the pattern envelope. All right, are the instructions easy to follow? Absolutely. The instructions completely easy to follow. Now, I will say one thing with the instructions. I don't remember what number it is on the pattern, but you can pull out the instructions and see that. Now on the back, it tells you to make E-stitching on the back between the dots. There's not 2 dots. It's only 1 dot on the back. So I'm not sure what they meant with make that E-stitch, but I didn't really need to make any E-stitching at the shoulders areas of my back because my back fit onto my front with no problem, no stretching, none of that. So mine was good to go. Even though I did it, I really didn't need to do it. But no, I didn't make any modifications. Everything was good to go. The instructions are easy to follow as well. So let's go ahead and get into my likes and dislikes for the pattern. I have no dislikes for this pattern whatsoever. I love this pattern. I like this pattern. I mean, I had an amazing time doing this pattern as well. Now, I will say for me next time, I have a way of doing my lining where I leave a 6-inch opening on the side seam and then a 3-inch opening on the sleeves in order to get a clean finish for my lining. However, because I did not take into consideration that I would have to understitch the lining, it was a little difficult to understitch after you sew that lining. So I think next time what I would do is attach right sides together, the lining to the main piece. Sew the top area around the neck all the way down to the like halfway through the side seam, and then understitch that area first, and then go back and attach the rest of it all the way around the bottom and everything, because it is difficult to understitch. Even though it tells you to leave an opening at the bottom, it was still difficult to understitch the way that I attached my lining instead of doing it like the instructions. But other than that, I don't have any dislikes for the pattern, and that's not really a dislike. It's just basically something that I seen that I would change the next time I do this pattern, which I plan on doing it again end of summer into the fall time for my business wardrobe series. All right, that would be the last pattern that I would be working on again for my business wardrobe series. All right, any first time experiences? No. Like I said, I chose an easy pattern that's beginner friendly. Speaking of skill level, beginner friendly, this is a super beginner pattern. The only thing that I would say for this pattern that may not be, you may say that it may not be beginner friendly, is understitching. Outside of that, like I said, there's no notions whatsoever. No buttons, no zippers, no snaps, none of that. So I will stamp this as far as the skill level, beginner friendly. I mean, there's nothing that you got to do other than thread. And so that's it. So this is a beginner friendly pattern. So I did not learn anything new whatsoever. I mean, that's it. So let's go ahead and talk about would I sew it again? Yes, I would sew it again. I am sewing it again. So stay tuned for when I sew it again. The end of summer into the fall. Once again, sometime in August. All right. Recommendations. Would I recommend this pattern to others? Absolutely. I think that this pattern will be a great pattern to put in your wardrobe for you to just kind of slap on with some jeans like I wore in my photos. You could wear it. I dressed it up 2 ways. I wore it with tennis shoes as a style one, and then the second style I wore with heels. And just some black booties that I have had for such a long time. But you can style it up or down. I mean, I made this as a classic, not a business one, just as a classic blazer, just to throw on whenever you get ready, basically. All right, so let's talk about my pattern rating. So my pattern rating for this pattern is a 5 out of 5. I loved working with it. It came together quickly. I sewed this pattern together in a little over 2 hours, right at 3 hours. And that's only because I traced the pattern to make sure that it fits. So speaking of time, the patterns that myself as well as Talisha selected, these are patterns that shouldn't take you no more than 2 to 3 hours to do, no more than 5 pattern pieces. It's just up to you to lock in the time. I would say 30 minutes as a suggestion. I would say 30 minutes at a time. I mean, even if you can't get a lot of sewing done because you're a stay-at-home mom or you're a full-time worker, you're short on time, block out 30 minutes, and in that 30 minutes, just cut out the pattern. Block out another 30 minutes just to do your interfacing situation. Then block out another 30 minutes to sew the first 4 steps or whatever. Then block out another 30 minutes, and that should get you your lining. And then by the end of the week, which this series is not for you to sew it in a whole week, but if that's what you have to do, that's what you have to do. But the main reason for this, the purpose and the main reason behind the series is to give you patterns that you could sew 5 pattern pieces and below. That doesn't take a lot of time for you to do. All right, so that's the entire pattern review. I hope you enjoyed this pattern review. I hope you join in this series, Sewing 5 and Below with Talisha and I. Like I said, you can see the hashtag in the description box below. Also, go over and check out Talisha's video, see what she created, what jacket pattern that she created as well. So I thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so you are notified every time I upload a new video. So stay tuned for next week when we show you another item that we will be putting as part of the 5 and Below series. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. And as always,